5 free plays coming up for Saturday, September 20th. Week 4 of college football is front and center. I've got 3 under-the-radar bets you should be making. These are games you're probably not going to hear much about elsewhere here on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. That's okay. I've got you covered here on the Power 5. Free plays went 3-1-1 on Thursday. There was no show on Friday. My apologies. Didn't really like the board enough to get you a Power 5, but the good news is no show on Friday means I was able to get you these free plays for Saturday a little bit earlier than normal. Not only do I have some under-the-radar college football bets for you today, but some soccer as well. A reminder to go ahead and smash that like button whenever you agree. We're going to start in the English Premier League, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, yes, on the USA Network. Chelsea taking on Manchester United, without a doubt. The feature match in the EPL on Saturday. I like Chelsea. Draw no bet. Yes, the Blues have failed to win each of their last 2 matches. They drew with Brentford last week, then lost to Bayern Munich 3-1 in the Champions League on Wednesday. However, Chelsea remains a much better side than Manchester United at this stage of the game. I think we can all agree on that. Chelsea is one of only 3 Premier League sides still unbeaten through the first 4 match weeks. They were only a few minutes away from beating Brentford last week, gave up the stoppage time equalizer. Meanwhile, under Ruben Amorim, Man U have the worst win rate of any Premier League club the last 2 seasons. Just 36% of the matches the Red Devils have won under Amorim. They've also won just 2 of their last 11 matches against Chelsea. So I just don't see Chelsea losing here. If it's a draw, we push and live with it, but it should be a full 3 points for the visitors. One more for you here on Saturday in soccer. You will learn to love it. Over in La Liga, 3 p.m. Eastern on ESPN+, we've got Athletic Bilbao taking on Valencia. Again, I'm looking to play draw no bet with Athletic Bilbao. Yes, we did correctly fade this team on the Power 5 Tuesday in the Champions League, but that was against Arsenal. Bilbao have been much better when facing their fellow Spanish sides here in La Liga. 9 points from their first 4 league matches. That has them 5th in the table. And really, even that undersells how good they've been. Bilbao actually ranks number 1 in the league in expected points per understat. They should have gotten a point last week against Alaves, but unfortunately, an own goal went against them in a 1-0 loss. This week's opponent, Valencia, lost 6-0 last week to Barcelona. That's never good. Bilbao have won 3 straight. Pardon me, that's win. They have won 3 straight over Valencia. Again, if this one ends in a draw, our bet is a push. I think it's worth laying a bit of juice to have that luxury. I say it all the time. I am number 1 in soccer at WagerTalk.com since April of 2024. So be on the lookout for any premium releases this weekend. I'm 2-0 with premium soccer releases over the last 3 weeks. Slow and steady wins the race in this early part of the European soccer season. I am up a whopping 53.4 units since April of 2024 on the pitch. And now, yes, we will talk college football. I said I've got some under-the-radar games for you, and we're going to go real under the radar here with Arkansas State taking on Kennesaw State, 6 p.m. Eastern on ESPN+. I'm taking Kennesaw +5 here. It's a bad spot for Arkansas State to be laying points on the road. Road favorite is not a role that you often see the Red Wolves in. In fact, Butch Jones' team has been a road fave just once in his 5 years here. And Arkansas State is 5-20 straight up overall away from home. So they have not fared well on the highway. You look at what's happened the last 2 weeks to Arkansas State. They get blown out by in-state rival Arkansas and Little Rock. And then they could have beat number 12 Iowa State at home last week. Emotionally, you have to wonder what ASU has left in the tank this weekend. This will be their first ever trip to Kennesaw, who only lost by 1 at Wake Forest and had it easy last week, beating an FCS opponent, Merrimack. Take the points in what could be an outright upset. The home dog has definitely taken money throughout the week. Number 4, BYU, East Carolina, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN2. Once again, I'm going to take the home dog here. Big surprise. Give me +6.5. Yes, BYU, they're number 1 in yards per play differential. I understand that. But the Cougars have played only 2 games, and they were against Portland State and Stanford. Now, East Carolina's 2 wins were against Campbell and Coastal Carolina. Not exactly a couple world beaters either. However, the Pirates in their season opener did go to NC State and easily covered the spread there. In fact, these two teams, BYU and East Carolina, they're combined 5-0 ATS to start 2025. So why prefer one over the other? Simple. East Carolina's at home. They're getting points. It really actually goes beyond that, okay, in all seriousness. BYU has a true freshman quarterback playing on the road for the very first time. I think East Carolina is live Saturday night in Greenville. And number 5, to round things out here on the show, Southern Miss at Louisiana Tech, 7:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN+. Southern Miss coming in off a pretty fraudulent 38-22 upset of Appalachian State last week, playing at home. The Golden Eagles intercepted App State 3 different times in the red zone, and one of those turned into a 99-yard pick six. Southern Miss ended up getting outgained for that game for 70-389. I know a lot of people think this is an improved team. I'm not going to disagree. However, so is Louisiana Tech, who might be the favorite now to win Conference USA at this point with all of Liberty's struggles. The Bulldogs blew out New Mexico State last week, 49-14. Nothing phony about it either. They had a massive edge in rush yards. And this Louisiana Tech defense, I think, rules the day on Saturday night. They held LSU to just 23 points 2 weeks ago. Market was hip to this one early in the week as La Tech opened -1.5. Now they're -3. Even seeing some 3.5 start to pop up. I would not play this any higher than -3, but it makes the Power 5 at that number. All right, time to recap here. Let's go through the 5 free plays one more time. Number 1, Chelsea, draw no bets. Make sure you select draw no bet. Sometimes it's called tie no bet, depending on the sports book. But Chelsea, draw no bet against Manchester United in the English Premier League. Moving over to La Liga, Athletic Bilbao, draw no bet against Valencia. Number 3, Kennesaw State, +5 against Arkansas State. Number 4, East Carolina, +6.5 against BYU. And then number 5, Louisiana Tech, -3 against Southern Miss. So a lot of G5, group of 5 flavor in college football, along with the best of European soccer this week here on the Power 5. Comment down below with your thoughts on those 5 free plays. Also, share with us what you are betting on Saturday. Also, I know there are a lot more marquee matchups that you may want my opinion on for Saturday. Ask away down in the comment section. If I see it soon in enough time, I'll be sure to answer. Let's just keep things interactive here on the Power 5. After you're done commenting, head on over to wt.buzz/BP. Why would you do that? Well, click the link in the description below, of course. Why would you head on over to wt.buzz/BP? Well, that's where I've got 3 premium college football winners locked and loaded for Saturday, starting with a 4% best bet at noon Eastern. Always a chance I could add more as well. I am one of the absolute hottest handicappers at WagerTalk right now, guys. I've gone a perfect 4-0 overall the last 3 days. That's entering Friday. I have an excellent 6-2 record in college football the last 2 weeks. Now, last week's best bet, well, it was Vanderbilt, +3.5 against South Carolina. Didn't need those points. Vandy won outright 31-7 in a big time upset that I didn't even think was an upset. I called South Carolina the most overrated team in the country last week. Going back to November of 2023, I'm up 57.3 units in college football, a 77-54 overall record. Very proud of that. Be sure to take advantage of what you see on my screen. It's been there now for a minute. Weekend Warrior Pass at WagerTalk.com. For only $49, you get my complete football card for the week. For the weekend, that's Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Includes NFL, where last week I cashed a 5% max bet on the Falcons +3.5. Another game where the points weren't necessary. The Dirty Birds won going away by a score of 22-6. So all of my college football, all of my NFL, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, just one low price, $49 with that Weekend Warrior Pass. Head on over to wt.buzz/BP. Click the link in the description below. That will do it for this edition of the Power 5. Really hope you enjoyed it, guys. Remember to both like and subscribe. I will be back Sunday to talk about NFL Week 3, maybe a little soccer too for all those who are interested. Until then, let's cash some tickets.